This is Luxembourg, and I'm gonna take out the Allies and the Axis to become the sole ruler over Europe. First thing that I have to do as Luxembourg is switch to fascism. After I switch, I'm instantly gonna start justifying on the Netherlands, and then once that justification is done, I'm gonna join the Axis so that the Netherlands troops all move onto the border with Germany, and then I'm gonna pair-drop into their cities where they're not defending. After the war with the Netherlands, the world tension is way too high, so I'm going to have to look elsewhere to expand. And with Hungary just turning fascist, they're going to be the perfect country to attack, as the Allies won't guarantee them. After that, I just have to wait for Germany to attack Belgium, and once they do, I can push with them until I get all the land that I'll need to form Leo Belgicus. France is also pretty easy to take down with the help of Germany. I just basically push and try to get as much war score as possible. After that, I pair-drop into the UK, encircling their port and attacking from all sides to get it quicker. And now that I got onto the mainland, it gets pretty easy. The only thing that UK got going for them this early on is their massive navy. But if you just pair-drop around it, it doesn't matter. So I just encircled them and pushed them until they capped. And ooh, I got myself some pretty good stuff out of that peace deal. I got myself a France, a little bit of UK, and a very based historical Luxembourg Raj. And now that I basically had the infinity gauntlet of the Allies, Germany didn't stand a chance. It was time to prepare for war. And to do that, I'm going to start making some tanks. This is the template that I'm going to use. Now this is what I've been waiting for. Now while I do think I could take on Germany 1v1, I don't really want to do it because it sounds terrible and not fun. So what I'm going to do now is though, I'm going to leave the Axis and then I'm going to justify on Germany and then rejoin once that justification is done so that they leave my border. And before the war even starts, I was able to get out 6 of these pretty good tanks, these pretty good 30 width tanks for single player standards. And then once I feel like most of their troops have moved over to the Eastern Front, I'm going to leave the faction again and instantly declare war. With the Germans away on the East Front, there's basically no resistance and I'm able to push in pretty deep into Germany. And even when the Germans start showing up, my tanks are able to push around them pretty easily. But it wasn't all without loss. I did end up losing 3 tanks to a really dumb mistake. And it wasn't over yet. Germany started counter-pushing. Probably had something to do with the fact that my men moved off the border for some reason. I honestly have no clue where they went. But nonetheless, we had to push them back. So because we don't really have that many natural resources, I was having an issue where I couldn't get enough fuel for my tanks. Which basically, without fuel, tanks are just useless hunks of metal. I ended up building some refineries and stealing oil from my puppets to fix the issue. I was getting pretty tired of fighting Germany at this point, so I decided to rush down the north, getting encirclements and taking the victory points where I could. And then out of nowhere, Italy gets big brain, man, strong AI, smart AI, and decides to do a naval invasion to try to encircle my north front. But as Italy does, after one good play and seeing my tanks roll up, he's like, nah, I'm not dealing with this. He decides to retreat. At this point, Germany was very weakened and they couldn't stop me doing anything. So I just rushed down their last few remaining victory points to capitulate them. And while I want to say Italy put up a good fight, but they didn't put up any fight. My puppet AI France was pushing through them, and then once my tanks arrived, I just punched through their line and took over their entire country in a couple minutes. And with Italy now dead, Luxembourg was the ruler over all of Europe and also Africa, basically. If you want to see more of this campaign, get this video to 200 likes and I'll do a world conquest.